You are welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe. In the news, Peter Obi, a word for Rotimi Amaechi. I strongly believe that it is Peter Obi for Nigeria, or we remain where we are. With all the lacks, we remain perpetually backward, poverty-stricken, in the midst of plenty. A very rich country with poor people. When they talk about a coalition of opposition parties to foster a common front, not just to unseat President Tinubu, but to have a Nigeria of the dream of the common man, greeted with airwaves. Those of us who are not politicians give a sigh of relief and prayed earnestly that the Nigerian factor should not affect the decision. Without belaboring this write-up, I want to suggest to the coalition the closest way to victory. Without any bias, if they mean well for this country and want to get the support of Nigerians, it is to work for power to remain in the South for the next 4 years, so that the South can complete its 8 years before power returns to the North. For equity and good conscience, and against the background of Nigerians yearning for change, power should go to the Southeast. This will complete us as one Nigeria that we have been preaching, bearing all odds, bearing peer hatred and jealousy. Peter Obi, with his outstanding showing in 2023 election, should lead the pack from the east. Nigerians ought not to look far to get a presidential candidate for the coalition. This is because, aside the good showing of Obi in the last election, he has shown by his utterances and actions that he means well for this nation. In a country where the oppressed are united in what they want, Obi's emergence as a presidential candidate should ordinarily not be a problem. But the disunity among the common Nigerians has become the strength of our oppressors, and I fear that if we miss this opportunity, we may have lost an opportunity to free ourselves from our oppressors. I can see our brother Rotimi Amaechi running up and down, not necessarily to undo Peter Obi, but to seek opportunity to lead the coalition as a presidential candidate. I gathered from a reliable source that he was in the Labour Party to become their presidential candidate, which pushed Obi to make the statement that he may still run under Labour Party. It is a free world, no doubt, but at the point we are in Nigeria, if we fail to admit our strengths and weaknesses or pretend that we do not know our rating, then we are doomed. It is clear that if Rotimi Amaechi succeeds to become the coalition presidential candidate and pushes Peter Obi away, I fear to say that the hope of the common man for a desired and beneficial change is gone forever, as APC will remain in power beyond 2027. I will end this write-up with appealing to all well-meaning Nigerians who desire a genuine change and a working country to go with the following. First, let's work to see Peter Obi emerge as the next president of Nigeria. Two, the East should move to seek power this time around by playing the politics of brotherliness, seeking the understanding of other sections of the country to support them, because power is not gotten on a platter. Thirdly, Nigerians should work to achieve the politics of inclusiveness and give it this time to the Igbo man. Finally, Peter Obi should accept that he will do one term of 4 years to enable power return to the North. After this 4-year term, I urge the North, the South, and all Nigerians of goodwill, including our dear President Bola Tinubu, who has fought all his life for democracy, to work for the Igbo man to be given a chance to govern this country. May God give our president the largeness of heart to champion this democratic ideal for one Nigeria. Well, talk is cheap and it's easier said than done. The write-up, as good as the person may think it is, the writer is not aware of the fact that President Tinubu is also running. Or maybe he just decided to ignore such. For a President Tinubu who has it as a lifelong ambition, believes that he can put Nigeria on the right pedestal and drive the country towards the road to the promised land. That it's not necessarily an Igbo man should come and do that. So it's very funny because the writer of this very particular communique or write-up is saying that the president should have a lightness of heart to step down. For who? When he is strong, hale and hearty. If it is on a platter of weakness or failed health and things like that, or a problem with the thinking faculty, well, we may say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may have to concede and consider that power should still remain in the South and let this Igbo man take over. But in this situation, he himself is planning for 2027. So I don't know how he's going to show that so largeness of heart to champion the democratic ideal of one Nigeria and allowing an Igbo man to come and take the second term from him and using it as his own first term. He's not going to do that. That's just the reality. Number two, if we want to look at it objectively, yes, if it is sharing it based on ethnicity or religion or region sentiment, it is right and a due time for someone from the eastern part of this country to be the president, because the highest they have ever reached is the position of a vice president. But this time around, they are seeking it. And this writer is trying to, conscientize even the people in the east and also encourage them to come out in full force to support their own son, which is the former governor of Anambra State, the person of Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, that he should emerge the president of Nigeria come 2027. It's also saying that they should make sure that they are playing the politics of brotherliness. And what does that mean? I think the writer can decide to, break it down. Maybe what he is trying to say is the fact that looking at what Asiwaju used to win even at the center, he continued to play the politics of brotherliness, knowing fully well that there is no party that is formed around a particular figure that ever win the center. It is not possible. Awolowo has tried it in the days of Action Group. Even the likes of Zik tried it, but he has to go into coalition with the North. And also in the days of UPN too, they tried it. And also, of course, Bola Tinubu saw that in 2003, after that election in 2007, he would have declared for president, but he realized that AD is not strong enough until he, expand the party to the level it is today, and he got what we want. I think that's what the writer is trying to tell the Easterners, to open up so that others can, do politics of brotherliness even with them. And thirdly, he's asking Nigerians to work together even to achieve the politics of inclusiveness. Well, as good as this write-up may be, some of the things that the writer has suggested might not be possible. But no, we'll never say never anyway. Let all parties begin to do their underground work, and we will see the result come 2027. Remember to like, to share, and also to subscribe to our channel.